This is Mark Coleman out of the bee yard today. Got some work to do. So we're looking at our flower hive, which is now packed in the top with forages. So those forages are all returning, getting those cells ready to stock with honey. So things should be progressing quite well inside of the flower hive. What we'll do now is take a walk around to the front. What's up? Wow! Absolutely chockers, full of bees. So this hive can readily provide some nurse bees. And the reason we're going to use this to provide nurse bees, I'll show you in a moment. Really quite hectic in the front, but move across to these hives, and wow, they are bearding outside there. So what we need to do is the hive on the left, middle and right all need to move into full brood chambers now. Right, so we've got an empty brood chamber here, a few frames. These girls are in here. What we'll do is we'll take these out, put them up against the side, put in some frames, give them a shake of nurse bees, and get on with this. 2-frame nuke, and it is absolutely packed with bees, really full to the brim. So we're ready to move these girls now. Let's get on with it. Still a fair amount of bees left in there. Actually a huge amount of bees left in there. Move these in, the beetle buster in. What we've done is put an empty, then some frame, empty, some more frame. The queen was in this one, so we'll shut them up, put a queen excluder in, and they'll be on their way. I might leave them open for a moment because I'm going to put a shake of nurse bees on top of them. Nurse bees will come from the big hive over there. So this hive is the next one. Okay, again, huge amount of bees. So what's going to happen here is as I move these frames across to there, the forages are going to come back to here. So we're going to replace this box with a big box with holes drilled in the side. So these forages will all form part of one big colony. That colony will take off very quickly. Those little rice grains, or eggs. So we know we've got an active queen in here. These are 2 tiny nukes. So this is 2 frames. That was 2 frames. Bee coverage is just extraordinary. Now all of these bees in these 2 are going to all coalesce together into this one single hive. It'll start off with 3 frames, but it's going to go absolutely gangbusters once we get to the point of the bees actually acclimatizing. So what I've done is on that, I've actually drilled holes in the side so that the bees will learn to use the side. Now we get on to the next part. So we've got an active queen there, we've got an active queen there. We saw that queen. That queen we haven't seen, but we have seen eggs. We've seen eggs, we know that queen's there. It would be very unfortunate if the queen was on the side. But in any case, we're going to get all of these bees into there. Again, we are at the end of October. These were started at the beginning of September. That bee coverage is enormous. That's almost what you'd get if you bought a nuke. So that's principally what we have here, is a bee package with a couple of frames. It's a nuke. We've got a queen, working bees, and we're going to get them into there in a moment, and we'll be rocking. Right, first frame. This is a frame coming out of a starter nuke. That's a reasonable pattern, huge amount of honey. These bees are really doing a great job. They're doing an excellent job. Lots of stores, Nice pattern for a young queen. Great pattern for a young queen. It is a super looking queen. Man, big fat. Amazing. On the first frame. Isn't that beautiful, beautiful bee? I think I fall in love with these girls. They're magnificent. Cool. So this hive has been moved. That was 2 frames. That was the hive that was on the right hand side originally here. So moved across there. Those foragers are going to go back to the original hive. See them hanging around the side of there. There is a hole in there, but it's probably not in exactly the same position as what it was. They'll figure it out. What these bees are going to need are some nurse bees, so they don't abscond. There are going to be nurse bees in there, but not sufficient. So maybe a shake of nurse bees or 2 shakes of nurse bees in there. This was the hive on the left, again bearding on the side of there. They'll eventually figure out how to get in there, and they're going to need 2 shakes of nurse bees. Obviously when you do the shake of nurse bees, you are going to get the foragers going back. So we'll look at the front, see what's going on. Okay, so these girls are going to take some time to figure out where to go. I've closed that up, so it's a very small, easily defended opening. That I've opened up completely. This needs to be opened up a bit. There we go. Right. Those are bees figuring out the entrances. They will get them sorted eventually. You can see them coming and going out of that. So they have got that. Some of the girls are going in and out of there. Some beautiful bright orange pollen. These girls are a bit special. These girls are really not figuring out. They will get there eventually. There are some going in through there. But eventually a lot of them will figure out to go through the front. I've opened up the front completely. So it's looking pretty good. So what we're doing here is we're expanding hives. I collected a hive the other day. Principally, it wasn't even in a hole. It was just hanging on the side of a tree. And after I'd collected it, the amount of comb principally filled 1 frame. So those bees had a queen. They had brood. Not a very big hive. I've moved that out into a brood chamber and moved it about 5 kilometers away from where they were. But that gave me a lot of confidence to go, you've got 3 good small hives. They can readily be moved into their own large brood chambers. So we'll come back and have a look and see how these girls are doing in a month or so. Cool. Right, so we've opened up here. I've got a nuke box that I use as my caddy. So I'll go through, I'll look for the queen. Once I find the queen, I'll know which frame she's not on, and then any of the other frames can be shaken in, and we'll get a bunch of nurse bees. Oh, this hive is exceptionally busy. Heaps and heaps of bees. I think seriously, probably need to split this hive. I'm actually considering splitting it today. There are so many bees in that hive. You see how things progress.